Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV. What you're about to experience is a free, worldwide interactive broadcast from Ontario, Canada. We broadcast live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Get your questions in. Join the community chat room at www.category5.tv or email us at live@category5.tv. And now, let's begin. Here's your host, Robbie Ferguson.
Welcome to episode number 217 of Category 5 Technology TV. It's Tuesday, November the 15th. Why do I do that? Every Tuesday I forget the date. There it is. It's the 15th of 2011. It's nice to have you here. Tonight we've got lots going on. We've got Marc Ruel is joining us from Brother Canada. He's going to be talking to us about establishing technology within our home office that's going to improve our home office environment for us. Also, we are going to be talking about a brand new device from Thermaltake. It's called the Dr. Power 2, and it is going to allow us to test our power supplies to make sure that we are going to get the best performance and the best life out of our computers.
Yay.
So stick around. Yay! Dr. Power. Sounds like a soft drink.
Dr. Power, that's what it's called?
Yeah, Dr. Power. We'll talk all about it in just a few. Hey, nice to see everybody in the chat room there. Dun, 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 dun.
Ooh, thanks for the compliment, Invisible Mutant.
I am Robbie Ferguson, and welcoming your questions in the chat room, or email us live at category5.tv. Hello. Oh, when did you get here?
This is my really belated cue.
Cue.
He's like, before the show, he's like, make sure I say my name, you say your name. And I'm like, gotcha. And then, yeah. All right, so coming up in the newsroom, can you trust the App Store? Find out why the answer is probably no. PogoPlug is now offering free online cloud storage entirely compatible with their devices, and scientists plan to recreate the conditions of Earth's core. So stick around, these stories are coming up later. It's
going to be hot. It's going to be a hot news story, I tell you. Wowee. Hey, check out our mobile site. Category 5 is available on your device. Dun, 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 dun. And you can go to mobile.cat5.tv to check it out. And we are streaming live right now to your iPod Touch or iPhone 4 or 4S device. I wanted to say 5. You know I wanted to say 5. We all wanted to say 5. But alas. Anyway, mobile.cat5.tv for our mobile site. Check it out. Also, you can visit our new online store. We've updated our Cafe Press store. You can go to cat5.tv/shop. You'll be able to get a Category 5 mug, a decal for your laptop.
That's it?
Yeah, you know, like a mouse pad.
A mug?
A mug for drinking your coffee out of.
Go to our store. You can get a
mug.
Go
to our store. You can get a T-shirt that says Category 5 on it. You can be a Category 5 groupie. You
got to put a bit more in the store than that, Rob.
We'll work on it. So check it out, cat5.tv/shop. We got a good start going on there at Cafe Press for our Season 5 merch. And if you pick something up, make sure you take a picture of yourself with that piece of merch, and we'll certainly give you some viewer points in exchange.
Perfect stocking stuffer from Cat 5
yes.
mug. Ooh.
What is this Category 5?
Christmas to remember.
It's like TV, Mom, but it's on the internet. What? TV on the internet? What's that? Yeah, it's the hardest thing to explain to people, too. But hey, this is the way things are going, my friends. Oh, so good to see everybody. Nice to see some friendly faces that we haven't seen for quite a while in the chat room there. Abby joining us. Jot as well. Jot and Abby and myself used to play quite a bit together on Planet Calypso, which those were good times. Now it's like, you know, Jot's off on another planet, and Abby had a hard drive crash or some crazy thing, so I'm in there and I'm playing all by myself with other people. Summer Girl is in there and everything else. But
or they've all gone on to better games.
No, there's no such thing.
It's an old game, the graphics.
No. Oh, we're going to have to get her in, because she hasn't seen it in about 2 years. Version 9.
You showed me the other week, and it was just him stuck in a room. He couldn't get out of it. You showed me, and you're like, okay, I come back down the hall.
That was when my computer was completely busted. That's why I was stuck in a room. Hello? Seriously? Bad example, Rachel. Wow, okay. Oh, it is such a pleasure to have Marc Ruel joining us again tonight. Marc, it's good to see you.
Good to see you again, Robbie. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, it's been a while. About a year ago, we had Marc on the show, you remember, and Marc talked to us about organizing ourselves in our office. And Marc, one of the things that has always stayed with me since the last time you were on the show back last October, early November, was that one thing that you said. You said, touch it once, and it's such a simple thing to say, but it stuck with me, and I'll tell you the truth, it actually impacted my work ethics in the office and has really made a difference over the past year for me.
Handle it once, meaning if you have a pile of papers in front of you, if you're going to take something and do something about it, make sure that you go all the way on that one document to make sure that after you can either throw the document away or file it or whatever, but once it's handled, it's done. So in other words, don't pick it up and put it back down and pick it up and put it back down.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's what we tend to do in today's world is you get an email and it's like, oh, I'll set that aside and I'll get to it, or I'll put it in my agenda to get to it. And I'm finding, over the past year, just actually responding at least and saying, okay, here's what's going to happen has really pushed things along. So I appreciate that. And it's a real pleasure to have you back on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Marc, of course, I'll let you introduce your company. Everybody's familiar with Brother. Marc joins us from Brother here in Canada, and I'll let you. I know you're anxious to tell us about what you've been up to over the past year and what you're doing these days.
Well, these days we've been, putting out new products and basically geared towards home office and small office. That's basically our area of expertise. And the home office is a growing trend right now in Canada. There was a study that was recently done by Ipsos Reid for Brother, and it shows that fully half of working Canadians actually work out of their home office at least part of the time. So. And they do this for various reasons, but namely the main reasons are because it's more comfortable, right? And also because it's a very flexible arrangement. And more employers are finding that arrangement flexible too. So there's a lot of need for technology to go into the home office. But one of the things that struck me about this study is that only 2 out of 10 people actually enjoyed the fact that their home office was productive and efficient. So that's not a big percentage of people who are satisfied, with the efficiency of their home office. So what I brought with me today is like a few tools that you can work with in your home office to increase your productivity, help you get on your feet and really productive and organized in the home office. One of the first things I brought is an iPad to demonstrate a couple of apps actually that are cool for the home office. Let me just go into them. One of the apps that we found that works pretty cool for the home office is called Dropbox. You may be familiar with it. A lot of people listening might be familiar with it, but it's actually an app that it's like a virtual hard drive on the internet that you can upload files to and share with people. And the cool thing about it is it's a free app. Up until 2 gigs of space, you can get that. And I mean, for people who have email and always run into the problem of having files that are too big to email, it's really a good solution. So it's a great app to have. And another app that we found that, of course, is my favorite is the Brother iPrint and Scan app, which enables you to wirelessly print or scan from an all-in-one like this one over here, the 825. This is one of our most recent models that came out. It's jam-packed with all sorts of cool features, and one of them being the iPrint and Scan. And for example, I'll just grab a document here, and I'll put it into the machine, and hit the scan button, and we'll get a scan going. And I mean, wireless technology is all about the freedom of moving about your home office and doing things inside your home office free from being stuck to wires, and it's good especially for the home office because you're often moving between the home office and your house itself, right? So it helps in that flexible arrangement.
One of the things, Marc, that I found hard when I was working from home was not just that being able to have multi-functions and all that kind of stuff, but clutter was really the big issue. And using Wi-Fi like this. So you're actually scanning directly through Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I just scan that document directly into the iPad that easily.
Yeah.
It was that simple. And you bring up a good point about clutter, because if, say, for example, you've got a lot of hard copy laying around your office, and I think as people discover multifunction machines or like all-in-ones, one of the features that they often are not familiar at first with is scanning, and yet that feature has a lot of power to it. Like I was saying, if you have a lot of stuff, a lot of paper lying around your office, you can actually scan that all into the computer, organize it in your computer, and take the hard copy and just shred it. So you can imagine how much more clean your home office will be if you do that. If you get rid of all the hard copy and just keep it on your computer. Obviously, you need backups as well. You have a backup hard drive, or maybe you're backing up on the cloud. But the important thing is to feel more organized in your home office, and that's absolutely a great way to do it.
Yeah, as I'm getting more and more into the mobile technology of even something simple like my iPod Touch, and your app obviously is going to work on this device too, and Android as well, I would expect.
Yeah, it works with the iPad, the iPod Touch. It works with also with the Android-powered phones.
Great.
Sure.
So when I scan, if I put something into my brother's scanner and I scan it to, say, my iPod Touch, where is that file within my cloud? Where does that actual file reside?
Well, it resides first of all in your image in your image application, and
in
then from there,
in the device itself.
Yeah, within the device itself.
Yeah.
And then you can move it to wherever you wish. You can email it to someone, or basically it stays within the image application.
So like my image roll, for example, my photo.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and I'd like to draw viewers' attention as well to an app called PogoPlug, just because you were mentioning Dropbox. And what I actually use is a device/app combo called PogoPlug. And with that device, unlike Dropbox, where you get the 2 gigs or possibly more if you get a better deal for free, with the PogoPlug, I'm not sure if you've heard of it, Mark, but
I read about one of your users was like going crazy about it. And he said, "I don't even need it, but I want to get it."
Oh, absolutely. Well, with my PogoPlug and my iPod Touch, I've got an 8 gig iPod Touch. So now, combined with the Brother technology to scan in here, now I can transfer to my external hard drive through my virtual cloud, through my Wi-Fi, to my PogoPlug connected USB hard drive, very much like the Dropbox scenario where you could upload something to Dropbox and it's available to you now from your device from anywhere. It's a similar kind of scenario, but unlimited amounts of space, because I can add my own hard drives as I go. So it's amazing the way that this. We were talking with Asigra last week about the cloud and how I'm seeing the cloud really becoming personal with devices like what you're offering here with your new multifunction centers with the Wi-Fi. And I know you've been working on perfecting that technology for some time. How do you see the cloud really? And we're using the term the cloud, but this kind of files just kind of floating and being available to you everywhere. How does that impact the home office?
Well, I think it has some practical applications in the home office for sure. Backup is one of the first and more practical ones, the safe, the one that'll help you become safer. But we've also noticed that there's a trend moving from wireless, like a sub-trend of wireless, which is web connectivity. And for example, a model like this one can connect. And so you can actually like scan, for example, a photo and upload it to Flickr, Google Docs,
right? Wow,
and other applications on the web that are designed for that kind of use.
Right.
You could also go and fetch them from those applications on the web. So there's we find that there's a trend going from wireless into connectivity with the web directly from the machine, and you don't even need your computer to do that. And
that's one of the things that we're seeing, is that we're stepping away from having to sit at a desk. We're sitting at a coffee shop with our tablet or device and being able to do all the things that we're doing. As far as networked printing goes, something that I've always been curious about, because I see the option, and I know my PogoPlug also supports network-connected printing and stuff, but I know also the Brother printers have the Wi-Fi capability directly within my home. How am I able to use my Brother printer to print from my device?
Well, so long as your Brother printer is on your wireless network and has its name on the wireless network, you can use your device to print to it. It's either many Brother printers and all-in-ones have wireless connection or Ethernet connection if you want to plug directly into your wired router as well. And it's usually a very, very simple operation to set these up. I mean, one of the things that we are constantly concerned with is user friendliness. I mean, we're talking about all sorts of technology, but in essence, the really important thing is that they be easy to use, and I think that's been one of our hallmark things that we've worked on in the past years is to offer this technology, but stuff that only you need a few simple steps to be able to use it with.
Right. Yeah. And it's been very intuitive. I use a Brother printer myself, and the interface is very intuitive, very easy to use, even for a really novice user. So I'll just kind of let you speak about the home office and where you see this technology going.
Yeah. And we got pretty far into.
I know. I get off on a tangent. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No. It's really interesting. So that's why we always talk about it. But there are also technologies that are really much simpler, but can be just as effective for the home office. I'll give an example. I brought this. This is
right.
It's basically a P-Touch labeler. And it's a portable labeler that you can use in your home office. And the great particularity about this machine is that you can print on different colored labels with it, and they're fairly easy to change. It's just a cassette like this that you remove and put back in like that, and you've been able to change your color. Well, what's the application of that? Well, for example, you've got a lot of hard copies still in your home office. Perhaps you have file folders that you put them in. Well, you can develop a color-coded system where you actually have file folders that are coded, like this, for example, and which enables you to choose the right folder. So I'm going to take the financial folder. I don't even have to read what's on the label. I'll just grab the one that's blue. And you can do that in the blink of an eye. So color coding actually helps you find things faster. So it's a really simple technology application, but it actually works. It's something that's very effective to keep things simple and fast to find. Right.
I realize, like, some people may think, oh, well, that seems so obvious and so. But one thing, I love my P-Touch labeler. I mean, it can be used for so many different things. But when I look in my file drawer, quite often I do get lost among just tons and tons of files, and that makes sense. That color coding, you even have the capability with your P-Touch labeler to add little patterns, and when I do my wine bottles, I even use it to label my wine, and I put a couple of grapes on the label, and it's all there. So
where the labeler becomes really cool is that we have a series in the line of labelers that are connectable to your computer.
Really?
Which means that you can take any type of graphic or text from your computer, slap it onto the label. Sometimes you can just take it by screen capture, or you can type it in, or you can go fetch it as an image somewhere in a file, put it on the label, and print it out. So you can basically have the freedom to print just about anything on your label when the machines are connected to PC. So it's a great application to get creative in the home office to be able to organize yourself.
Very good.
And I think organization really comes from the sense of wanting to be organized and having the right mindset when you walk into the office. I was saying this to a few people I've met over the tour that we just did, and I was asking them, well, would you sit in your home office and work in your pajamas? How does that make you feel? So what I recommend is that you dress as if you're going to your real office when you're working in your home office. So it kind of tunes you in. I mean, it's got an effect that's beyond. Or I should say, it's not really a conscious effect, but it's really something that you feel when you're in that type of clothes.
Absolutely, yeah. So I like I say, I was self-employed for 9 years, and I know exactly what you're talking about. And Murphy's Law, there's something about it where if I'm sitting around in my bathrobe, that's the day that someone's server is going to go down and I'm out the door. So, yeah, but there is that mindset where, if I get up and I dress appropriately for work, even though I'm working at home, it really puts you in that frame of mind to be productive.
It's a simple tool. Yeah, it's one of the simple tools that you can use for the home office. I was going back to what we were talking about inkjet machines and all the features that come on them. One of the trends we've also noticed in the past few years has been the trend towards business inkjet machines. So people in their home office want to get more serious business inkjet machines that can print more copies, and we've come out with a line that's actually 11 by 17 printing business machines, and we've had actually quite a lot of success with them, more than we actually imagined.
What's the footprint on a machine like that? Because 11 by 17 is pretty massive.
It's not much bigger than well, yeah, 11 by 17 is you know, just show you what the actual size of the printout is. This is like if you take two 8.5 by 11 printouts, that's what 11 by 17 is. So, and obviously the advantage of this is you're actually doing your own marketing here. You can you can create your own posters or stuff like that with an 11 by 17 machine. And the machine itself is a bit bigger than the small one here. This is the 825, but the home office version. But this is a bit bigger and more business, more professional series.
Right.
And it still fits in your office pretty well if you compare it to, say, printers that existed even 10 years ago.
I know. It's pretty amazing looking at this. So that one on my left, your right, is printing at 11 by 17.
This one on my left, yeah. This one, well, yeah, on your left.
My left.
And one of the great things about it is that people also have concern about saving money on ink, and a machine like this can address it because you can actually get super high yield cartridges like this one, that for example, which will give you approximately 2,400 pages per cartridge. So
wow.
This is big cartridges for business use or people who just print a lot, you know.
Yeah. And certainly, if you're using this, it's nice not to have to change your cartridge on a regular basis. Home businesses often it's tough to get out and get to the store, buy a new cartridge, and sometimes you don't always have one on hand. So there's that factor as well.
Yeah, that's also helpful as well. Yeah.
So these are both duplexing printers, I understand.
That's right.
As well.
Yeah, they both print on both sides of the page, which is an obvious advantage because you can create documents that look that much more professional if they're printed on both sides. Save
time as well.
Duplex printing obviously is good for the environment. It saves on paper, and it'll save you money because you're saving on paper, and it's basically a great feature, and it's something that people are asking for more and more, and that's why we're integrating it into so many machines in our lineup. It's
interesting that you mentioned the conservation of paper and eco-friendliness. What is, as a small business, we want to be eco-friendly. We want to be eco-minded as much as possible. Sometimes it's not always possible. We look for devices and look for products that are going to help us that way. What is Brother's response to that need for users who are looking to be more eco-friendly in their home office?
Well, we've been building features like duplex printing recently into the machines, but also there are features like, for example, draft print that we've built in, which help you save on ink. And obviously, if you're changing cartridges less often, you're throwing less into the environment, into the garbage. We also have features like N-in-1 printing, which is the taking of, say, 4 different pages and printing them on one page.
That's
and
cool.
You can do, for example, if you have a 70-page document and you want to proof it before actually printing it, well, print with N-in-1, and you've saved it. You've cut that down by 1/4 to 1/4 of its original size in terms of paper that you're using and ink as well.
Very cool. I love the idea of the super high yield cartridge as well. I always buy high yield.
Yep.
Not knowing that the super high yield is available. That's fantastic. So that makes a big difference too. I mean, people need to realize that not only are we changing the cartridge less frequently, but that's a lot less going into the landfill, and that can make a big difference as well. The cartridges, are they recyclable as well?
Well, yeah, that's another particularity of the Brother products that you'll find is well, at least the laser products. Obviously, the inkjet cartridges can be recyclable if you bring them to your local eco
like an
your local eco center.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, and they'll dispose of them there. But we also have a recycling program for certain of our laser cartridges, and the particularity of our laser cartridges is that the drum and toner are separate. For example, when you buy a single unit laser cartridge, you have the whole system of drum and toner are integrated into one.
Yep.
But it so happens that the drum unit lasts a lot longer than people think, and we've developed a system where the drum can stay in your machine, and you're just changing the cartridge, and the drum will have to be disposed of or recycled or sent back basically after 20,000 pages or 25,000 pages. So the drum has a much longer life, and we take advantage of that, and we change the toner instead of the toner and drum every time.
Very good. We're talking with Marc Ruel from Brother Canada, and we will be right back after this quick message from one of our sponsors with Marc. And we've got a great announcement because we're going to be giving away one of these printers to you as well. So stick around.
Whether hitting the road or the dusty trails, Liquid Image Canada captures the action with a true point-of-view HD video camera built directly into a high-quality MX goggle. It records every bit of the excitement exactly how you see it. If high octane isn't your thing, take a relaxing underwater adventure and capture it forever in high-definition video with a high-quality underwater camera mask from Liquid Image Canada. Perfect for the enthusiast snorkeler or the deep-sea diver. Check out the entire line of camera masks for every sport. liquidimagecanada.com.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. You'll find us online, www.category5.tv. I'm your host, Robbie Ferguson.
And I'm Rachel Shue.
We've covered that. She's getting quick. She's getting quick. We are joined tonight by Marc Ruel, who joins us from Brother Canada, and it's fantastic having you here. And now, Marc, I'll let you chat a little bit more before we get going. We've got to get into our news segment here.
Sure. I would say basically to wrap up, I would say, there's a lot of great technology out there for home offices. Sometimes it's simple, sometimes it's really sophisticated, but the important thing is that to take advantage of this technology to increase the productivity in your office, and you'll get more organized for sure. If you want to see more of some of this kind of equipment and kind of for the home office, you can go to brother.ca as well to have a look.
Very good. I see that you've also introduced a Twitter account as well, Brother Canada. So we'd encourage our viewers to go follow them. They just started that account, I understand, about a week ago. So welcome to Twitter. And
thank you.
And it's really been great having you on the show once again, Marc. Now, we are going to be giving away one of these multifunction centers that are behind you here.
Yeah. That's right. This is an MFC J835DW. It has two-sided printing. It's wireless. It's Web Connect, so you can upload photos or download photos from places like Google Docs and Picasa and other such sites. And it also actually prints on CDs. We didn't talk about that, but you can actually here you have a tray, and you can actually put your CD in there and print on it.
Very cool stuff.
That's just about everything except coffee.
Well then, I don't know. It's all good. It's all good. Marc, thank you so much for being on the show. If you would like to win that beautiful printer there from Brother Canada, visit our website. Right in my blog, it's cat5.tv/blog for your chance to win. Marc, great having you on the show once again. You take care.
Thanks again, Robbie.
And I look forward to having you on the show again sometime in the near future. Take care.
Robbie.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. You'll find us online, www.category5.tv. And yeah, well, it's very cool to learn about that kind of organization and how technology can drive our office to be more organized. No longer self-employed myself, but I know we do have, you may be self-employed or maybe you've got a home office. Even if it's not for employment, it's good to keep yourself organized, and Brother is definitely at the forefront of that. So cool stuff. Were you going to say cool stuff?
Yeah, I was going to say, but you said cool before stuff. Me, so yeah.
Good.
So,
you got some,
do you want to hear some viewer questions?
You know what? I'm looking at the time, and time just flies by in that first half. But we should probably jump right into the news if we could.
Ooh, the news. Let's see if I can get through this without messing everything up. All right.
I didn't give you anything too overly complex today. I was kind.
Yeah. Alrighty. So here, a malicious piece of software designed for iPhones and iPads has been created to show that Apple's App Store is not immune to malware. The code was designed to look like a stock price tracker, but was also able to steal data. Experts said that the proof of concept program was a significant threat to the App Store. Apple declined to comment, but removed the app and barred the developer from its store. The software was created by security expert and hacker Charlie Miller to demonstrate Apple's vulnerabilities. Apple accepted the program to its iTunes App Store in September. 2 months later, Mr. Miller revealed that it contained malware that could remotely download pictures and contacts. He says, until now, you could just download everything from the App Store and not worry about it being malicious. Now you have no idea what the app might do. So Mr. Miller plans to present his research at a security conference in Taiwan this Thursday. And Pogo Plug, the remote access service that lets you connect to your hardware, has officially launched their own cloud.
What?
I just imagined them releasing a cloud into the sky.
Live free.
Go free. Okay, so they've launched a cloud.
All right, the cloud has been launched, people.
This is a free online storage service that offers users 5 gigabytes of space to store whatever data they'd like. Unlike PogoPlug's remote access services, their cloud offering does not require any hardware components from the user. I'm sorry, I can't get the image out of my head.
What is it with the news and new co-host people?
Okay.
Deja vu?
The service can augment products like the PogoPlug device and PogoPlug software for computers, but won't replace them. If users would like more than 5 gigabytes of cloud storage... It's not even that funny.
It's not funny at all. Cloud.
Okay.
We're going to talk about a little cartoon in a few minutes.
Then they can upgrade to paid accounts. 50 gigabytes of storage will go for $9.95.
We're not getting through this, right?
Okay, I'm fired. Okay, they will go for $9.95 a month. 100 gigabytes will be $19.95 a month. Okay. But of course, users can add their own... Stop laughing, it's not helping.
I'm not...
But of course, users can also add their own PogoPlug device to add their own storage to the cloud using USB hard drives and a high-speed internet connection. All right, we got through it.
You did?
Woo! All right. And now we have an experiment to recreate the extreme conditions of the center of the Earth. And this was officially opened on Thursday. The ID-24 beamline at the European Synchrotron radiation facility. Did I say that right? Synchrotron?
Cloud.
Don't. We'll use X-ray beams to subject iron and other materials to extraterrestrial temperatures. Extraordinary temperatures and pressures. How the X-rays are absorbed should give insight into the mysterious processes going on at and near the Earth's core. The newly upgraded ID-24 makes it possible to focus the X-rays to a much smaller spot than existing facilities, just millionths of a meter. What is more, the reactions that go on as a matter is heated and squeezed can be monitored with a resolution hundreds of times higher, with snapshots occurring every millionth of a second. The hope is that the work could unravel mysteries such as why the Earth's magnetic field can flip. The Earth's core, which is around 3,000 kilometers below sea level, can't be reached directly by scientists. In fact, research continues in an attempt to drill through just the Earth's outermost layer. The crust is at its thinnest between the oceans. Comparatively, the crust is just 10 kilometers thick. So it is left to laboratory experiments to attempt to recreate the conditions at the core, to investigate how the Earth's magnetic field comes about, why it changes, and how shockwaves from earthquakes propagate through it. Experts fear that such experiments may release toxic gases from the core, causing humans to mutate into Hulk-like forms.
Wait a minute.
To find out more about that, visit esrf.eu. The category Newsroom is researched by Roy W. Nash and Simple 10 with contributions by our community of viewers. If you have a news story you think is worthy of on-air mention, email newsroom@category5.tv. For the Category 5 TV Newsroom, I'm Rachel Shue. Woo, got through it.
You got through.
Barely.
Yes.
Barely.
What is it about clouds that make you laugh so?
I don't know. It wasn't that funny. I just got going and couldn't stop. From now on, every time I do the news, she's just going to have like cloud.
It's going to be all about the cloud.
A word just thrown in there.
I'm going to just do a search on Google News for cloud and just see what I can come up with. Unbelievable. So if you didn't know before, now you know that we are not a news broadcast, but that we are a Q&A broadcast, and we try to slip in some news about the cloud. But sometimes we don't get through. That's all good. So, but we did receive some questions this week, and we're anxious to get to your questions, for sure. Okay,
so we have here Scott Lewin. And his question is, I'm thinking about purchasing a Kobovox. What do you think about it, and do you have any concern sharing information between the Vox and Linux?
No. Well, because the Kobo Vox is Android-based, right? So, Kobo Vox from kobobooks.com. Kobo. There it is. Kobo Vox. I don't think you're going to have any trouble with compatibility. I mean, it's Android, right? Look at their features list. Right? Here's the one thing that is a little bit odd about the Kobo Vox is that it is Android OS 2.3, and you know that Android is up to version 4. So it's an older version of Android, but the thing is that maybe that's all that they need, because it's designed to be a reader that has some enhanced features like a color screen and the ability to do more than just read news and read your books. So maybe there will be an update to a later version of Android down the road. Who knows? But I wouldn't have any concerns about that. It's designed to be, well, it's Android, right? It's designed so that you can customize it, so that you can access your stuff. And they're a good price. Cool specs, too. So, kobobooks.com. No concerns. No concerns.
Alrighty. So we have another question from Dennis Westfall.
Can I just say, if you do, if I may, if you do end up buying that, I want to see a picture of you watching Category 5 on that device. Cool.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
So Dennis Westfall, he says, "Hey, Robbie, and surprisingly sexy co-host. This must have been meant for Eric's week."
Oh, this was last week. Yes. Okay,
yeah,
I understand.
So I have a Ubuntu 11.10 installed on my netbook. It's an IBL Lenovo ThinkPad X31. I have it tuned with 768 megabytes of RAM, and I'm wondering if there is an easy-to-use possibility to have a zoom feature, like you were using during the show. Since I'm partially sighted, I'd really need that, since Orca doesn't have that feature anymore, and it's reading programs. Oh, and it isn't reading some programs for me, like the Software Center, and some parts of web pages.
Oh, I see. Orca being a text-to-speech reader. So.
Yeah, and that's.
Is that it?
Thanks for your help.
Okay, Dennis. I mean, I know. Well, we already said that we're not really a news show. We're a tech Q&A show. And when I say that, I mean, we usually take tech questions and answer them with tech answers. But I'm going to give you a little advice about the ladies. If you start your note with, "Hey there, you are beautiful," do not wrap up your note with, "I am visually impaired." That's what I was thinking.
Well, at least it was for Eric's week.
By the way, you're beautiful and I can't see. Okay, so the tool that I use is, of course, part of Compiz. It's called Compiz Zoom, or Enhanced Zoom. So when I bring up my desktop, and I can do this kind of fancy stuff, what I'm doing is I'm holding in the super key, the Windows logo key on my keyboard, and using the scroll wheel on my mouse. So because you're using Ubuntu, first thing I would do is see if you have compositing already running. If Compiz is running, you can just hold in that Windows key, or super key we'll call it, because we don't want to call it a Windows key. And then scroll your mouse wheel, or on your touchpad you can use the scroll just as if you were scrolling up and down a website. That will give you that effect if you have compositing running, which by default you will in Ubuntu if it's compatible with your system and it's detected and drivers are installed that are needed and stuff like that. So I guess then the other real option, if you don't have compositing, which is Compiz, I'm going to go into Terminal here, and we'll just quickly install an application that may be of use to you. It's not going to give you the same effect as what I'm doing right there, but we'll go sudo apt-get update first of all. Well, and that helps if I type right. There we go. Enter your password. It's going to grab all your latest repository information. Okay. So that's just getting the latest lists from the web of the latest versions of all the software. There we go. Okay, so now sudo apt-get install, and there's a program called xzoom. Just like that, okay? And the reason I'm doing this in the terminal, now you could do this through Synaptic Package Manager, but you'll notice over the past couple weeks that I've really been trying to get you to try the terminal, because I don't want you to be afraid of it. Sudo apt-get with a dash, install xzoom, and hit enter. It's going to tell me what I need. In this case, it's just going to do it because it just needs the one package. If you need more, it might ask you to say yes or no. Here we go. All right, so now it's installed. So I'm not sure if it puts it on the menu. Let's see. I don't see it, but you can hit Alt F2. I'm sure it may be there somewhere. But here's what we're going to do. From the terminal, or hit Alt F2, I'm going to type in the word XZOOM, or ZOOM. Hit enter. And now I've got this thing. You see this? Okay. So if I click in this area, now I can drag this box. And when I drop it, now XZoom is looking at that area of my screen. If I drag and drop, it's looking at that area. See? Okay, so it's a bit of a magnifier. What's cool about XZoom here is now I can grab the edge just like any other application, and I can change the dimensions of it. Now I can grab that and I can go like this, and I'm dragging that magnifier all over my screen. Okay, so that may be helpful as an alternative if you don't have compositing. Again, that one's called XZoom, and it works awfully well, and it has the ability to run without having compositing. So if your system doesn't support what I have with the Windows key and scroll wheel on your mouse, then you might try XZoom. Okay, I hope that helps you out. Let us know if that's effective for you, or if you found that, or if you found something else. However you solve it, let me know. But remember my first tip there, my friend.
All right, so I'm trying to find it here. Chris Reich, sure, I think, was asking how you get to that Category 5 store from your website.
Oh, well, it will be on the website. Right now, it's just in kind of beta top secret stuff, but it's cat5.tv/shop, and it will find its way to the website within the next couple of weeks as we populate it with more product. So, cool. Speaking of new things on our website, now not a new thing, but something that was recently kind of emphasized on our website just so that people could find it, because one of the questions that was coming in is, well, how do we know what's coming? Well, I get a lot of emails saying, well, what's going to be on the show this week, or Twitter questions, what's going to be on the show this week? And so last week I actually added on Watch the Show. You'll see our program schedule, and this is simply a calendar. And it tells you exactly what's going on each week. And you can see that for tonight's episode, for example, there you are. And you can even see who the co-host is going to be. And that's available to you through our website, category5.tv, on Watch the Show program schedule. There's also the global show times, which we brought back for daylight savings, so that people can find the times that the show is going to be broadcast in their area. Very cool stuff. Cool.
So, do you have time for any more questions?
I do, but first I'll just make mention that this episode of Category 5 TV is brought to you in part by PogoPlug, and you'll find them online, www.cat5.tv/PogoPlug, and also Planet Calypso, cat5.tv/Calypso. Just don't look at it when your computer's on the fritz. Mm-hmm. And certainly
not the best time to show it off.
Certainly don't show anyone.
Yeah, check out this cool game, and he's just stuck in a room.
Stutter, stutter, stutter. My mouse wasn't working, and I had to just strafe. It was
Great
ridiculous.
Great game, Rob.
And that's how she judges it.
All
yeah, we've got time for one more question, and I'm going to show you this very cool Dr. Power 2 from Thermaltake as well.
Alrighty, so this one's from Leland.
Hey, Leland.
And he says, salutations, Catman crew. How do I turn off tap to click for my cordless keyboard using Ubuntu on my desktop?
What's tap to click?
Google it.
How do I turn off
tap to click?
But then in brackets he says tap to click for my cordless keyboard. I just tossing this out, but do you mean how do you turn off your computer using the keyboard with just tapping to do it?
Is he in the chat room?
Are you in the chat room that you can clarify? If that's what you mean, you can hit Control-Alt-Delete and then hit up or just whatever it takes. When you hit Control-Alt-Delete in Linux, you get this screen. if I hit enter right there, it will instantly shut down my machine. So from my cordless keyboard or whatever keyboard, it would do that. If that's what you mean. No, the touchpad. From the little mouse pad, take it, point to the little menu thing, and then take it and point to the thing that says shut down, and then click it. I have no idea what you're asking, dude. Sorry. Clarify for me.
He says no, the touchpad.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't understand. So touch and point to the shut down button. I don't know what you mean.
Alrighty.
Sorry, dude. Maybe it's a feature of that particular notebook or something that I'm not familiar with. I've never heard of tap to click. Maybe that's just a... We'll rule that one out to geographical differences. Cool. Cloud. All right, well, hey. Have you ever... You build computers all the time, I'm sure. But viewers, I know there are many viewers who build their own systems, and one of the things that you may not realize, have you ever had to have your power supply changed in your computer?
I don't know. Someone else comes and does it and fiddles with it, and it's better.
Well, it's actually a common thing where the power supply would go, and you think, you know, there's something really severely wrong with the computer. It can cause... your power supply could still work, but your computer could be failing, blue screening if you're on Windows. There could be all kinds of weird issues. It could be crashing for no apparent reason. You could have data loss, and regrettably, there's also a chance that with a faulty power supply, you could also have damage to your system. Things like burned out capacitors and things like that that could really cause issues, because if you get a burned out capacitor on your motherboard, you've got to replace the motherboard. Probably the CPU if it's an older system. Definitely the RAM if it's an older system. And then you get into, you might as well just buy a brand new computer. So it all comes back to the power supply. And when we know if our power supply is good or bad, it can really help us with not just preventative issues, but it can also help us to increase the performance of our computer, to know that the power supply that we're using is good, it's working well, and certainly is not feeding what we call dirty power to the computer. So a computer is designed to receive very specific power. So you've got 12 volts, 5 volts, positive, negative, and it's got to be really clean power. If it's fluctuating, if it's bouncing around, if it's going up and then down and falling, then you wonder why, okay, well, why did my computer crash? Well, you don't even know that it's because your power supply just went up to 13 volts and then dropped down to 12 when it's supposed to be 12. Static, right? So a small investment would be to pick up a power supply tester. There are power supply testers like this one. This is the one that I used to use. It's a frozen CPU, and it worked pretty well. It was better than... It's better than the kind that just light up. Here's the thing. You can get a power supply tester that will just light up if there's power, but it doesn't tell you, again, is it going up to 13 volts? Is it dropping down to 11? You have no idea. So then, one-upping the frozen CPU model is this brand new device from Thermaltake. This is the Dr. Power 2.
Ooh.
Dr. Power. So now this probably needs to be unboxed. I know. So let's go at it.
9-hour unboxing.
9-hour unboxing.
Get
of Dr.
ready,
Power
everyone.
2. What you need to know about this is that not only is this a power supply tester, but this has got all the features. It is able to test. Look at this. Top line. Designed to support every ATX power supply available today up to ATX 12-volt version 2.3. Oversized LCD panel, very nice. Accurate voltage indication. So it doesn't just tell you if it's on or off, it tells you what the voltage is. And also, it's got built-in output connectors for every kind of connector that you can think of. Let's take a look. Don't worry, we are going to demonstrate this device. Really, really simple stuff. It's available for you dirt cheap through thermaltakeusa.com. It's surprising how affordable this is. Let's unwrap this. Maybe, Rachel, if you could bring up thermaltakeusa.com and find this device. We're going to unwrap all of the stickers that they've got on here to protect it and make it look new when it arrives. So this is going to support... Now, you can see at the top there I've got CPU, I've got Molex, and I've got PCI Express. I have serial ATA up here, and I've got 24-pin motherboard connector here. So it's got all the connectors, but here's a bonus that this standard one does not have is it's got a little switch there that allows us to not only turn it on, but also to rotate between features. So I have a power supply. I just happen to have a power supply over here that is known to be broken. It's thermaltakeusa.com. This power supply came out of a system, and it was actually running in the computer system. So the computer, remember, the computer was actually working. But they were wondering, why was it crashing? Why is it having so much trouble?
Ooh, it's got.
And then it turns out, well, hey, there's something up with your power supply. A very, what is a seemingly innocent component in your computer. So I'm going to take this 24 pin, just plug it in right there. I've got a blue screen, which tells me it's dead. No, I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be ironic if it was a blue screen of death? Okay, I've got Molex here, which is your your old style adapter for drives and things like that, and components. I've got, let's see what else I can pull off of this. I've got a PCI Express. Okay, there we go. All right, so on my screen here, as soon as I hit power, now it's important to note that the power supply is currently off. There is no movement on this power supply at all. As soon as I hit the power button, now the power supply has turned on, and you'll see the screen is immediately turned red and things are starting to beep. I've got a failure on my 5 volt as well as a failure on my 12 volt. Everything else looks okay. PG value, that's power good, is fine. So because power good is okay, your computer's still going to boot up. But you've got bad 12 volt and bad 5 volt. That could cause a lot of damage to your computer. If I push this button again, just so that you have a little understanding about how this device works. So right now I'm looking at, as you see on the left-hand side here, we're looking at the 24 pin. Now it's turned off for safety's sake because it knows that this is a bad power supply. I'm going to turn it back on. I've got my 24 pin is the first one it's going to test. Now I'm going to switch over to, I push that button again and it switches to PCI Express. Again, it has failed. The 12 volt is bad. Push that button again. Switches over to my Molex adapter, and again, 5 volt and 12 volt are both bad. So now I know that, you know what, this power supply is going straight to e-waste. It's not safe for me to put this in my computer whatsoever, and you don't want to take that risk. Kill the power and eject all the devices. You found it there. If you go to on thermaltakeusa.com. This is just something that you want to have in your kit bag, absolutely, because you never know when you're going to need it. You never know when you're going to have weird problems that you want to determine if it is the power supply. And as I'm saying, this thing is an affordable piece of kit. So go to thermaltakeusa.com. Let's find it on their website together. Power supply, I'm sure. Power supply tester. There it is. Dr. Power 2. The price is surprising. At US dollars, only $40. And as far as, I've been in the industry for many, many years, and this has got to be the most feature-packed power supply tester. As I said, I am deprecating my frozen CPU power supply tester because of this, which I paid more for, incidentally. But this is going to help you to avoid damage to your computer by even plugging in a power supply. You buy a new power supply for your computer, plug it into this first, make sure that it's good. I've had it happen where a brand new power supply out of the box was giving bad voltage on one of the channels, and this warns me about that. So definitely check that out. thermaltakeusa.com. It's called the Dr. Power 2, and it's available for $40 US. Cool. Thermaltake's products are fantastic. They build power supplies. This is not a Thermaltake power supply, obviously. We run all Thermaltake power supplies here, and they've been incredibly reliable. But you can find them everywhere because they are a very well-known company. They make some great gear, so check it out. Cool. Hey, chat room. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Category5.tv. Hey, Jot, Garby. Any greets to new viewers in the chat room tonight? Don't forget, we're giving away that Brother MFC printer, Multifunction Center. Visit my blog, Garby, a good guy, is asking in the chat room if I can tell you the model number. Well, visit my blog, cat5.tv/blog, and when you're there, you're going to see that I've got all the information there for you to qualify to win that. Cool? That's my little trick. I could give it to you, but go to the blog, and then you'll have gone to my blog. It's important to me. Yeah. Nobody new joining us in the chat room. Nitro Fish is saying, well, I'm not new this week, but I was new last week. Welcome to the show. So nice to have you here. Where are you from, Nitro Fish? Schluen. No problem. Nice to have you here. Schluen is also joining us, fairly new here in the chat room. Nitro Fish joins us from Iowa. We have viewers all over the world. It's so interesting to see the viewership. And
have you got any more postcards?
No more postcards, unfortunately, which we covet. So send us a postcard. Our address is on our website, category5.tv.
I want to see one from Timbuktu.
Timbuktu?
Yeah.
That's a real place?
That's what I want to know. You always hear in the movies, oh, go off to Timbuktu, but I don't know if it's real. So someone from Timbuktu, send a postcard.
That makes sense. That makes sense. What do you got for me? There you go. That's kind of weird. But oh well. Click it.
This one?
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. Schluen is going to send us a postcard from Barrie, Ontario.
Ooh.
That would be cool.
Alrighty.
Cool. So you're joining us from Barrie. Nice to have you here. Spread the word. Build up our local viewership. It'd be very cool. We're, of course, broadcasting from Barrie, Ontario, Canada. We had snow earlier this week.
Awful
Crazy stuff.
All you in the warm places, you're lucky.
Well, I post some pictures on Twitter on a regular basis, and this, seriously, was taken from my iPod Touch just this week. Unreal. Sorry, but not to... I wanted to mention about viewership. This is how it looks right now. I posted this on TwitPic because I just cannot believe that I cannot see anything for Germany, Netherlands, we've got Ireland and the UK, and all these areas are just so plastered in viewers right now. Like these are live.
Is that live viewers or
at that
who've ever watched in the history of your show?
No, if that was the case, then it would no. It's a roll off. So as new viewers come on, it knocks off the other ones, right? There's a limit as to how many can be there. And that represents basically the week's viewership. Mm-hmm. So, but that's just UK, Germany, that area of the North Sea.
You're gonna have to learn to speak.
Nice to have you all here.
Speak German.
You
can do the show.
Well, there's so many languages that are represented, and that's interesting as well because we are predominantly English. A little bit of Klingon, but predominantly English.
Bit Domican.
Domican as well. That hurt.
All right, so let's see. Rob wants me to read some viewer testimonials. So, dear Robbie and the crew, I have been around since season 1. Robbie, although I haven't been there for every show, you have. Not only are you consistent, but you have also consistently improved the standard of the show in appearance and content. You seem to have a knack for picking co-hosts or crew members who are good at their job. Obviously, this was sent before my news tonight. You have overcome adversity time and again. That, my friend, is impressive. I grew up with a significant physical disability, so I know how tempting it can be to quit rather than persevere. You have taken the high road, and that deserves some recognition. You have literally brought Category 5 TV into your home and made it a part of your family, or maybe it's the other way around, but either way, that is quite a commitment on your part as well as your family, and thank you. And as you can see over here...
What did I do?
His head... You're like, come on, read all this good stuff about me.
No, that's... I seriously heard my voice doing that. How did that happen?
Okay, so for the crew...
That's so nice, though. Thank you.
Simply said, you folks are great. In my opinion, your contribution and importance to Category 5 TV cannot be overstated. Like Robbie, you're committed and consistent in your efforts. Your professionalism comes through clearly. Thank you for your commitment and contribution to the enjoyment of Category 5 TV. You all make it look easy and fun when I know it cannot always be either. Your casual charm is contagious and fun to watch. I look forward to watching every episode either live, truly the best way to watch, or through Miro. It's more than learning Linux, but that has been a big part of it for me. It's also being part of the community and feeling a shared interest in what you are doing. You have my respect and admiration. Keep up the great work. Ryan, aka Drumstick.
That's very kind, Ryan. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that I hurt my voice just before. That's crazy.
Do you want water?
I like this, but I did hear what Rachel was reading there, and that's very, very kind, and I appreciate it. And very cool to have you here all the way from season 1, as we're in season 5 now. So very cool stuff. But that's all the time that we have for tonight.
Well, it's convenient, right when you lost your voice.
Yes, perfect timing. It's starting to come back to me now. That's hilarious. That'll make the blooper reel. Sorry about that. Hey.
Alrighty.
Yes, Chris Reich, I am with you, sir. And I will sign off on that note. Hey, it's been nice having you here once again.
Yeah, it's been nice being here.
Yeah? You have fun?
Mm-hmm.
They keep us good company in the chat room.
Yeah.
Nice to see everybody. Nice to have you joining us tonight, and I look forward to having you here next week. Don't forget, visit our website, category5.tv. Go to my blog and find out how you can qualify and possibly win that Brother Multifunction Center that we were looking at there with Mark. So check it out, category5.tv. Thanks again for being here this week. Talk to you next Tuesday.
Right. See ya.